Hi, I'm Vanessa Geita. I teach small business owners to confidently handle taxes. And this is the Shawk23 podcast by creatives for creatives.
Hi, I'm Shawk23, and this is the Shawk23 podcast. Welcome back for another episode. And for this episode, we have back Vanessa Geita from Emprise?
Unicorn Emprise.
Unicorn,
Hello, Tax.
Unicorn Emprise, aka Hello Taxman. Welcome back to the show.
It's great to be here, Chen. Thank you.
Yeah, it's been a while. I think last time we did a show was last year.
Yeah.
We're in the year 2024 now, halfway through. But it's good. Anyway, for this episode, I really want us to, we've shared your story. We've gone through your background of how you started your business. But today I want to just do a role play consultancy, because you do offer consultancy service. And I'm just going to assume the role of someone who wants to start a business or is a business, but is unaware of my responsibilities as a tax-paying business, bookkeeping, and also just some insights that I've kind of gathered from going through your course as well. And I'm hoping you want to play along and see.
Here for it. Let's do it.
So if you're a first-time business owner, or if you're an SME, or you're a business owner, or you're someone who is thinking about running your own business, then this conversation is definitely going to be for you. And as we explore our responsibilities as business owners who are liable to pay taxes, but also some really great tips and systems on how to manage our books, and so that we can avoid all the tax penalties and confidently say hello to the tax man. Yeah, but before we do that, there are some people who may not know who you are. Could you introduce yourself and what you do for our audience?
Yeah, so I'm Vanessa Geita on the socials. It's at VGeita. So I'm building a brand called Hello Taxman because I want to educate people, Papua New Guineans, my one talks, how you can legally pay less taxes so that you keep more of what you earn and build this nation. We're all out here complaining. Too many people complain. But I think with tax literacy, it's actual fact, with proper, good, high level of tax literacy, you can keep more of what you earn to do the things that your entrepreneurial dream is all about, to build this nation, to provide value. Yeah, instead of, just waiting and complaining about the government not doing its bit, which they should, but we can do things too.
Yeah.
And tax law favors entrepreneurship.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Lucky us.
Yes.
For those of you who are registered, of course.
Yes.
There's so many informal businesses around,
Yep.
but for registered businesses. But it's good, because taxing, everybody cringes when they hear taxes. It's always a pain point. I don't think, not just in PNG, but also across the world. But anyway, so your business, it helps small businesses like myself to handle bookkeeping and also just basically to manage. Is it manage taxes or
to become more financially literate?
Literature, yes.
Yes, in your business, because we've discussed this, and I've heard this from other creatives, which are my favorite type of people to help. That you focused on your talent, what you're good at, but when it comes to the business side of things, particularly accounting, bookkeeping, which is my area, taxation, then you're like, oh, what do I do about it? And then the dangerous thing is you ignore it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of the main takeaways that I took. I recently did your dominating financial literacy business foundation, and that was one of the points that really kind of just if you're not aware of how you should be managing your finances, or if you're illiterate in that area, you're going to be liable to pay
more taxes
for late submissions or just not being on top of it. That kind of freaked me out a bit, because I was that course was really for me, because I had that really big knowledge gap. And I don't know if it was you or somebody that said that your finances are kind of like a boat that has holes. I think somebody said that somewhere, but it's like you're on a boat, and then you're sailing away, and then your boat there's water coming in, and if you're not educated on how to block the holes, then you're gonna sink. And that's kind of for me, that was kind of how I saw my finances. Was there's like money leaking, or like there's expenses, there's things that I'm not understanding about how the cash flow is not flowing the way it should, or I want it to flow, but I was really unaware of where the leaks were. So that course, if you're gonna do that course, I recommend, highly recommend that course. And if you're looking at the price that she offers and cringes, it's the return. You have to think about the return on investment, because you could pay hundreds now, but you're gonna save thousands in the future with the systems. Very simple, very easy systems. So let's get into it. Hi, Vanessa. So like, I'm thinking of running a business, and I'm aware that I have to register with the IPA, but I also have to register with the IRC. But what should I do? What kind of business should I register under IRP, and what kind of tax? What's the word?
Registration.
What kind of tax should I register for?
Yeah, and I covered this in the course too, if you remember, Chen. Like that's one question that I get a lot from people. Well, firstly, there's this group of people that know IPA. I go and register at the IPA, and then they don't move to go and register with the IRC. Because somehow I've had this, that people believe that they're a small business, so they should not pay tax, which is completely wrong. Like when you register a business name or a local company or even an association, a not-for-profit entity, the three types I kind of am experienced in, then you have to move on to register with the IPA as a taxpayer. And there's those two options at the IPA: business name and a local company. I'm just talking to people, the local people. There's overseas people that come and register as foreign entities, but we're not here for that. We're here for the locals.
We're here for the
Yumiet,
small,
yes.
People who are trying to be self-employed or build their own business. Yep.
So tupla, business name, IPA, local company, IPA. Business name now, it goes into breaks up into two other things. So business name as a sole trader, and then business name as a partnership. That's when two or more people are registered as the business name owner, individuals. So you've become a partnership. So that turns into three options at the IPA, three business structures. Mm-hmm. Then you go to the IRC. So you can register as a CIT, corporate income taxpayer, or a personal income taxpayer. But in the course, I've taught that this PIT thing, it depends on your IPA registration as well. So if you're a sole trader, you have two options at the IRC again. So it breaks up into two further branches. You've got the PIT, personal income taxpayer, and then the small business tax. That's a newer tax type that the government introduced when Marape was is still in power right now. So that's the SBT, small business tax. Now the other misunderstanding I get from a lot of highly educated Papua New Guineans is, I'm a small business. I registered as a company. Am I still under this small business tax regime? No, God. That's the flat out factual answer. No. To be SBT, as small business tax, you have to actually apply to the IRC, and they have to approve for you. So there's TIN 1, TIN 2, and then TIN 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I'm a company, I cannot be...
You cannot be SBT.
It's only for people who register as a business name?
Business name as a sole trader,
as
not partnership.
Okay.
Sole trader. Mm-hmm. And it's a specific type of sole trader. You can't be a professional, so lawyers, accountants, you can't be SBT. You can't be employed for a period of time. Like the IRC will go through their records to see if you've been, salary and wages tax have been deducted from your pay as an employee. They have their criteria to issue the SBT status to you. It's more for, they were hoping for the lesser educated, the grassroots population, people that are not in town with all the professional experience and that kind of thing.
So like a lot of like informal sales.
Informal that are coming into the formal thing to make it easier for them to comply. Yeah. But I've like because of the confusion, the questions that have been coming to me about me small business, so I think when we go SBT automatically no, there's still confusion in the space, and we're all learning, so happy to be here to clarify stuff like this.
Okay, so like what if I think I'm a small business. I think I'm just starting out. I'm still collecting clients, I'm still exploring the market, still trying to perfect my sales, and I want to apply like I want to get that small business tax. What are my, like, how do I apply? What qualifies me for that tax structure?
So you have to be a sole trader. That means that I pay you. You have to have had that business name as one person, one business name owner, not partnership, not two or more. That, and then you apply to the IRC through their TIN 4 to specifically be SPT, and then they'll give you the yes or no to that whether or not you're an SPT taxpayer.
Is there like do they calculate it based on how much income you make the whole year? Like,
no, they'll look at whether you're a professional or not. If you're a professional person,
the kind of business that you are trying to
the kind of person the kind of sole trader you are. Yeah, and if you've been a salary wage earner before, they won't allow that because it's more for informal people coming in, grassroots level. Type of tax. Yeah.
So it's to
encourage more informal businesses to come in to the formal business.
Say
space.
I'm like a worker. I have a normal job and I get my side business informally has been like, it looks good enough to, make the stand. Like, I can do this full time. I won't qualify for that.
You won't qualify for SBT if the IRC goes in and sees your...
Because I've been paid a salary and wage.
You've been paid as salary and wage. That's correct. You got it. So you have to go to become a sole trader underneath the personal income tax, and underneath the income tax regime. That's the big name for that. It's SBT or income tax regime. Okay. The income tax regimes got those CIT or PIT as a sole trader or as a partnership.
Okay. So I want to quit my job and I want to start my business. And I'm wondering, should I register my business name or should I go full straight into a company? I think there's potential for growth, but I'm unaware of like what it takes to run a company. But should I just jump the gun and register a company, or should I start off as registering under a business name?
Great question. One of the most common questions I get. And the first thing I will ask that person is like, have you got a business plan? Do you know how much money you're going to make in the next 12 years? You know,
12 years or 12 months?
So 12 months. Thank you. People might, start attacking me for. Yeah, some kind of like, I didn't have a, solid business plan, but you have some idea like, I can earn money. I've got this client coming in, this something. So because I'm saying that because the mistake a lot of small business owners, new first time people come in, they think, I'm going to register a business name because it's cheaper at the IPA side. Like it costs like 150 if I remember right.
I think 200 in person and 150 online.
Online, yep. And then 400 and something for the company.
I think.
And then they go with that
online. Or is it
400 online and 450 or 500 offline?
Yeah, sorry.
But that's where they make their choice, when it really should be the tax. Because those business structures are based on how it's taxed. Okay. So it should be the taxation or how much income you're going to earn in the long run. So like for me, I didn't know what I was going to earn when I started 3 years ago, but I went for company straight because of course I have the professional knowledge from my workplace. So I set up this company that owns 100% of my business name, Hello Taxman. Okay. And I know I'm going to pay 30% tax. But because I'm tax literate, I know that I'm going to pay no taxes because I'm going to make a loss as I'm starting up. I like a lot of people think that, you're going to make money, like profit right when you hit the ground running. But it's normal. It's very normal for businesses startup businesses not to make money not to make profit. You're making money, but you're not making profit for the first 5 to 7 years. And I just
not 5 to 7 months, but 5 to 7 years.
Yes. Yeah. And when you do proper bookkeeping and accounting, you'll really see that. You see, but when you don't, then you think, I'm making all this money. It's probably like it's more than my salary. Salary is different. Profit is different. Revenue is different. There's all different categories of making money.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I think I sidelined from the question you were asking.
No, that's fine.
Which company structure?
Business name or company.
It's the taxation that should matter. So I chose a company because I know it's a flat rate of 30%. And I couldn't qualify for SBT.
Is that like from your profit that you make from the year or from the annual? What's the word? Is it turnover? Like how much you make in a year?
Revenue.
Revenue.
Yeah, revenue. Yeah. So it'll go on the revenue. But if you kept your business records and you did your accounting right, all your business expenses can offset that.
So it's 30% of profit.
It's 30% on your business, how much money you earn, revenue.
On revenue.
But that's where tax deductions work. When you have all that legally, all that properly kept in your business, as in your files, an actual receipt, not just something you imagine from your mind, that kind of thing. Yeah, that's the other mistake. People think, oh yeah, I spent this, that, there, but there's no paper trail. It works by paper trail.
What about the sole trader? I mean, not sole trader registered under a business name. You've mentioned the companies have a flat rate of a 30% that you are liable to pay taxes on. But what about the small the business name?
Business name registrations. So then you tax like the salary age awareness because it's personal income tax. So this is from 0. So yes, you can pay 0% tax, 0 all the way up to 42.
Wow.
The highest tax rate, income tax rate there is in PNG.
And that's on revenue?
Probably the world.
Or on profit?
On your income.
Wow.
On your revenue, on your income. And for employees, you don't get a tax break because you're not an entrepreneur. But when you're a business, you get all the tax breaks. So you can reduce this taxable income with your business expenses. And that can bring you all the way down to living tax-free. You do your bookkeeping and accounting.
Yeah, just to clarify, I've heard that registering a company, there's a 3-year renewal process. Like, I mean, your company registering, when you register a company, it's valid for 3 years before you...
1 year, both of them.
Oh, both of them
at the IPA.
Year.
So there's annual returns that you...
Okay.
The legal fees you have to pay.
Fee, the renewal fee.
They call it the annual return fee. Annual return fee.
No, because those of
an,
us who registered a business, we have to renew the business name
every year.
Business
name, company as well.
Okay.
You have to lodge an annual return with the IPA.
Okay. And then you pay for that as well.
You pay for that 250 kina.
Somebody told me 3 years. And I was like, oh, I should just...
No, God.
Okay.
Yearly. It's all yearly stuff.
Okay.
The government got to make money too.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that's good that you answered this question because that was my personal fear when I switched to freelancing. I had that little break where I was trying to figure out whether should I get another job. When I was doing side work, it started to fund my life. And then I was like, I want to register, but I'm so afraid of the tax part. I don't know what to pay or how much to pay. And it's good that you clarified. So it's it can be up to 42% of your income.
Of your income.
And but then the company is just 30%.
Yeah.
Does that make it easier to plan if you're a company because of that 30%?
Yeah. I would, all these people having business names for more than 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years, and you haven't switched to company. So someone like me, I'll be like, so are you making enough profit? Are you making less profit? You're making 33,000 up to 33,000 to be taxed at 30% as a PIT, as a business name owner, or are you growing at all? Because if you're growing and you've been tracking your growth, then you'd want to switch to a company so that you pay the least amount of tax at 30% only, and you don't have to go to that 42. And the thing is IRC doesn't do anything. But if they don't catch you, it doesn't mean your tax debt went away. It's there. It's just you're ignorant about it.
Yeah. And now they're upgrading to digital systems.
Yeah.
Which I'm really in favor for. It just because I don't like lines at all. And I recently paid my taxes. Woo-hoo. The taxman came. I was like, yes, I've made some.
You said hello, taxman.
Yeah, I said hello, taxman. But because I did the course and I was really wise with my money, when they came with the bill, I was like, oh, I can afford that. Because it was an old bill as well. But it was really good. The system was really streamlined. I could pay online.
Yes.
They followed up via email. The IRC has been it just made my experience really, really well. I really enjoyed it. As you say, you want to be confident when you pay your taxes.
You need swag.
Yeah. Oh, what was the question I wanted to ask? It was about the business. So yeah, company and a personal ID. Okay, yeah. So I've registered my business name, or I've registered my company, and I've only started. It's been a year. Do I pay taxes? What is, as a first timer, like, how do I handle my taxes? Let's say I've done my bookkeeping, but I don't have an accountant. I've been doing my own Excel spreadsheet, or I've used an app, and I have a record of the whole year of my business transactions. What now? I want to be a responsible business owner, and I want to, be liable to pay my taxes. But what's next for me? This is my first year of business. I have no idea what to do.
Great question. And a lot of people ask me this, like, is it the IPA thing? And I'm like, no, IPA is different. Like you've mentioned, IPA, different office, different fee, different purpose is to renew your business name that you registered. Now, IRC is the tax office at downtown, the tall revenue house building. This is where you go and pay your taxes and lodge forms. Now, if you didn't make any money, lots of people that me not making money and by me paying taxes. No. If you registered as a personal income taxpayer or a company income tax or corporate income taxpayer. But if you're an SBT, they've got fixed tax rates. So now, yes, you have to pay the taxes according to
even
their
if you haven't made
schedule.
a lot of money.
Yes, because that's the law. They made it easy because it's fixed taxes. Yes. So it's like
So they're gonna come
60.
for you whether you like it or not.
If they don't come for you, it's there in the system, or you're recorded as having a TIN for that purpose. And it's very important that you be. Did we just go off?
No, we're on the UPS, so we're good. Continue.
Yes. So the thing is, people think that IRC doesn't chase them, and so they're safe. But the thing is, you're safe with this ignorance that you're gonna be passing down to your future generation. That's not something nice to pass on. Tax debt, even though you don't see it in paper and you haven't been checked by the IRC. It's something that I don't think is wise in this age of entrepreneurship. Like I want to be passing on generational wealth, and that doesn't just mean money. That means the knowledge and the wisdom to carry out your business in this modern day and age. That includes tax literacy. Because taxes is your second biggest expense in life, especially if you were an employee. 22% if you're earning more than 250,000.
42 is almost half of what you're making. Sorry, we just had a blackout and the power just came back, so that was wasn't a special effect. Okay, so so how much do you think, is there like a threshold, like a cutoff mark of what determines, of how much revenue I make that determines whether I will be paying taxes or not?
Again, depends on how you're set up with the IPA and with the IRC. So this 0% tax that I was talking about is if you're a sole trader or a partnership that you registered under the income tax regime, not SBT, but income tax regime, and you're earning that money from 0 to 20% 20%, 20,000 kina. That's the cutoff rate to be taxed at 0%.
Oh.
And that's the same for employees. You're in employment and you just make up to 20,000 in 1 year, 0% tax.
Okay.
That's the one people were
so
going.
So that's 20% max, like
20,000 kina.
20,000 kina in
maximum
revenue?
If
you go over that, if you go over that, then
over that, you start going up to the 35% tax rate as a sole trader registered as a personal income taxpayer under the not an SBT. So you're going up to 35% now. So you've passed the 30% company tax rate.
This is all personal
income tax, PIT, sole trader and partnership.
Oh, and partnership as well. Okay.
Company, business structure. So you're going from 0%, 30%, 35%, 40%, 42%. So there's tax brackets.
Okay.
Right. So
that depends on how much income you're making.
How much income you're making. So the next bracket is that 20,000 to the 33,000 kina. And you got 35% maximum.
That's a huge jump.
And you call up him that this is like 30% company tax rate.
It's basically a third of what you've made in that year.
Yep.
Can go to the government.
Get tax literate.
We're gonna get to those questions, but wow, that's because they treat you basically as an employee. Yes.
You're working free for the government. Yes.
Self-employed. So
you're an employee under tax.
When you're a company, then
you're 30%.
That's 30%.
Flat.
Whatever you're making on that year, it's gonna be
30%.
Now that I have a clear idea of how much taxes I might be paying, what is the process? How do I get a hold of the form? This is this hypothetical that this is my first time trying to submit or lodge my taxes. What's the process that I need to go through in order to do that?
Great question, because you know what, Chen? I've been seeing on TikTok people talking about tax return. And people have been, or one talk have been thinking, or what do you call it? Defining tax return as IRC returning some money to you.
Oh, okay.
When it's a form that you fill in and go give to the IRC to show them how much money you've made and spent during the year and how much taxes you may or may not have to pay. Yeah, so that's been a strange one. Tax return has been thought as government gonna giving you money back.
It's
sorry.
not you paying access and then the government like, oh, you've made an
Returning,
error and
yeah,
here's
they're gonna
your
return you
but no.
something, refund you. That's the technical word is refund.
Yeah. So they're thinking
Which hardly
it's like,
happens in PG.
it doesn't, eh?
Hardly.
That means the IRC is really good at calculating. I have another question. So I've worked with an accountant. We've gone through my books. They've helped me fill out my tax form. First of all, can I fill the tax form myself, or do I need a professional or like cousin Blumi accountant? They can do that. Who is eligible to help me or qualified to help me fill out a tax form?
Someone who knows what they're doing. That's the best answer I can give you, because I've had clients come and tell me about their financial trauma, that they hired someone that ran off on them or lodged something wrong. Yeah, all these con accountants and tax agents out there. So in my industry, there's people that can be a tax agent, a registered tax agent. So that's someone who's got the license from the IRC to sign off on your tax return as a tax agent, and they handle that relationship with the IRC. You're out of it, and then you can also lodge your own tax return. No tax agent's gonna sign off on it. You can sign it by yourself, but you know that all the risk is on you.
Okay.
Whether or not you do it right or not. So the best advice is go with people who know what they're doing, so that they can do the right thing for you. If you don't know it, learn to do it.
Okay.
So, yeah. It happens.
Yeah.
You can. So the answer is yes. You can lodge it by yourself, or the best thing is, if you don't know how to lodge it properly, do your bookkeeping and taxes properly, get someone to help you to do it. And that's why I've been building courses and putting content out to elevate this tax literacy, education, awareness, and literacy.
Yeah. I mean, sorry, that's good. That's great. I was going to ask a question and then it slipped.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. So, my next question was going to be, the person that I've worked with who's filled in the tax form, I've seen the amount of how much taxes I'm going to pay. And I'm like, is this how much I need to pay? First of all, is that early in my days, my first time to pay taxes personally, when I went to lodge my first tax form, I thought I was going to pay on the spot, but they just took my form, they stamped it, and then they sent me away. So what's that process like? Do I pay on the spot, or what happens after I lodged my forms?
And let me take a step back, because I forgot to mention that you have to fill this form every year. And it's a specific form for your specific business based on your IPA registration and your IRC registration. Because there's different forms.
Whether you're a sole trader, a partnership, a company, or a small business
taxpayer. So there's different forms, multiple, two for the SBT. So
this is my responsibility to IRC, not IPA.
Not the IPA.
IPA has their own.
Has their own forms, has their own processes. This one, IRC tax office, yeah. So different form, you got to identify you're filling in the correct form, so that whatever amount you put in, it'll give you the tax amount to pay. The forms are issued by the IRC. It's not something you can do by yourself. You have to fill in the tax return form that's correct for your business entity structure and your tax registration. And then it will give you the number to pay the tax like you've seen. Now, if you did it on time, there's a deadline every year, which is generally 28th of the end of February.
End of February.
After 1 year end.
Okay.
So end of February, you should lodge last year's tax return. So if you did your tax return and lodged it by February, end of February in the following year, and you pay your tax amount then you're not exposed to late payment penalty taxes. Late payment
penalty fees.
Tax. My
Late
goodness.
tax return penalty fees?
Late payments.
Late payments.
Tax penalties, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Submissions, late submissions.
Late submission and late payment.
Late payment. Okay, there are two
They're
different.
two different things.
Oh.
There's a penalty for late submissions that the IRC doesn't implement yet.
Okay.
So they only implement a late payment. So
Okay.
if you pay upfront,
Uh-huh.
then you're safe. You don't have to worry about late payments. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the did that answer. Did
No,
that
no.
sink in for you?
You still haven't. No, that's our obligation. My
that's
question
the
is like,
obligation.
I've lodged the
You
form,
lodged the form.
but they haven't asked me to pay. They haven't. They just stamped
Stamped
and
it.
then they've taken it and they've sent me away. What happens next? Do the IRC call me? Do they email me? How do I? I mean, I know there's the amount on the form that I need to pay, but they've only just got my form. What's the next step?
You must pay it.
Okay.
Pay it as soon as you can, because if you don't, the late payment tax penalty will start accruing
Okay.
over the time that you're delaying this payment and come up late.
Okay.
Late payment. So pay it right away. All the tax agents that I've worked for, the big four firms, they will advise their client as soon as we've calculated the tax, pay it.
Okay.
Pay it when you lodge the form at the same time, so
Okay.
that it cuts off that risk for late payment tax penalty.
Can you submit and pay later?
You can, but you're gonna expose yourself to this late tax payment. Why do I feel like I'm calling this tax wrong, this penalty thing? But people get me. Please, hopefully you get me and don't attack me for saying the wrong thing. But it's just a late payment.
Late
tax
payment.
on a penalty for being late.
Okay, that's usually within the year. Like if you're giving like a whole year to pay that amount.
Up to February 28th.
Up to February 28th
For
of the last year.
The last year.
Okay.
Anytime after that, and penalty has start accruing.
Do you have any idea of how they calculate penalty
It's
fees?
10 or 20% of the amount that you're supposed to be paying, and it's different for different tax types.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in addition to
10
paying,
or 20, I can't remember, right? It's there in the IRC.
wow. So if you're a company, you're gonna pay 30%
20% extra.
30% flat, and then if
then
you're late,
10 or
it could be
20.
up to 20% on what you
5%.
already owe.
Yes.
But if you're a sole trader or a partnership, it's either 0 to 42%, and then if you're late, there's an additional 10 to 20%. That's like 60.
Yep. It's nasty. So get tax literate.
Man, that's wow. Is there let's say I cannot afford to pay my taxes. Is there a payment plan? How does the IRC help us to make sure that we are responsible for paying taxes?
So they've got an avenue there where you can apply to mitigate this amount that you have to pay. Man, now I'm trying to remember the right word for it. I forgot the proper word, but there's an avenue for it that you can apply and say, for this and that reason, I've not paid this on time. Can you reduce it up to nil?
Oh,
then
okay.
I can do this and that. Like you can negotiate with them for
Okay.
that. So they have a circular on the website with all the requirements or the procedure, what kind of circumstances you qualify to ask for this remission of penalties. It's called a remission.
Okay.
Remission of penalty application.
So they're not always really hardcore. There's
No, they can be. It's all about communication. Jeremiah, I were talking about this, communicating where you at, where you want to go, and communication is key in life.
Nice.
So yeah, IRC is open to communication.
That's great. We've talked a lot of things, assuming that I've done my bookkeeping. And now let's go into some dark territory, because this is the whole foundation. So basically, I've taken your course, what's the called?
Dominate Your Business Money Management
Foundation.
Digitally.
Everybody needs to get that course. It's not only is it just Vanessa being really gracious with their knowledge and just bring it break, but she does it in a way that's very simple, very digestible, and each video is like less than 30, like 3 to 5 minutes, and that's it. That's if you do a module a day, it's very practical. That's the best thing about that, and it really highlights the importance of bookkeeping. I went in thinking I was gonna learn about the taxes, but it's just going in and learning the power of bookkeeping, because that is your magic wand that reduces so much legally. Like you can get away with, I don't want to say get away with so much, that sounds really criminal, but
the legally was this.
yeah, it is. So let's say that I have not done my bookkeeping. Is it my accountant's responsibility if I have one, or if I just how should I? Okay, let's say I'm starting my business. Where do I start where do I start, or how do I start bookkeeping if I have no knowledge of all of how to do my books and money's tight and I can't hire someone to do it for me?
Great question. You start by keeping your receipts, keeping every proof of how money came into your business, which all the SMEs I meet are top notch with invoicing, keeping all the invoices and whatnot. The part that a lot of people, 99.9% of SMEs that I've dealt with, struggle with is keeping the records of money going out of your business. Money come in your business, money go out. It's very simple. Keep that trail. Keep that trail. All the receipts you go and buy stuff for your business, keep that trail. Keep the paper receipt. So that's the first step. Have a physical finance filing system to keep the paper records of whatever you're spending money on. If you're buying a lot of stuff online, keep them in a folder in your email, Gmail thing, a label with all your suppliers. I have this. I have a YouTube video on it too. How I label my finance accounts, email accounts. Yeah.
Cloud Drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Email,
Oh.
Gmail account. So all got the supplier trail and stuff. So you have the trail there. Because me as an accountant, I cannot do your bookkeeping out of thin air. I need your information. And that's one of the biggest hurdles, not one, it is the biggest hurdle that I face working with SME clients, is that I need your information. I need you to give me your bank statement. I need you to tell me what you spend money on if I can't tell from your bank statement. Because a lot of the SMEs that I've worked with will go and withdraw cash. So withdrawal, that's all, ATM withdrawal or cash withdrawal, check, at the bank teller. And then there's no information about how you spend that money. Now, you're going to pay tax on that. Like, I'm a proper accountant. I will go and put that on your books, like owner's drawings, if you're a business name owner. That's tax. That's not going to reduce your tax amount, so that percentage will go on that revenue amount that you earn and then spend it and didn't have anything to support it to reduce the tax amount. So that's the first step. Get a physical filing system. Simple Arch folder, file them in chronological order. It's so simple, like a grade
That's by
3
date.
That's by date, chronological. The next step is the one I taught in the course, which is digitalizing them, because the receipts fade. Fade. Like 1 month and your BSP receipt, the withdrawal thing, it fades depending on whoever your supplier is and how they're printing the thing. So you need to digitize them. This is what every SME owner can do. You don't need an accountant for that. If you don't have time, get your kids to do it. Pay them a salary. You'll get the tax deduction for it. Do that. Physical and digital. And then the next part is getting that accountant to put it in an accounting system, a bookkeeping system. That can be trickier. Well, you can do it by Excel spreadsheet too. But as a professional accountant, helping people of your caliber, of Jeremiah and modern entrepreneurs, you need to get into software. You're doing software with everything else. Why not your money?
Yeah.
The most important thing that we're all looking for financial freedom for. Get a software and get that chart of accounts, the bone, the spine of your financial life system done up properly by an accountant. So, break it down by what kind of services are you providing. So I've worked with some modern day entrepreneurs, and they have this, the downside is they have sales only in their software system.
Okay.
Which is, it's okay, yeah, you're tracking, but now you want to get more financially literate about your business and build from there. So you need that those income streams need to be broken up, not just sales.
That's too general.
That's too general. Like, you look sales low one is something. So like, for if you're making money from this podcast sales, well, for photography people, like what, B2B client, B2C client, private clients. It needs to be broken up into something that you want to be working towards in the future. So you're tracking those numbers into the future. And then the rest of it is how money goes out of your business, which is the cost of sales, how much it costs to make provide your product or service, and then your operational expenses, how much it costs to run your business.
And all of those help to deduct the annual tax you're going to pay at the end of
Yes, your taxable income. They reduce it, but you need to have those receipts. Those you cannot make this up. That's dangerous. That's not.
Accountants are not magicians.
We are not magicians. I've been asked to create magic, and I'm like, it's easy to create that kind of magic, but it's silly. Like it's not worth my time. And whoever your accountant is, that's not asking you for your
receipts,
your bank statements, and not talking to you, how did you spend this and that money? If it's not clear on your bank statements and your receipt, then you got one man.
Interesting. One of the things that I've learned is the importance of separating your business. Like you need to have a business account and a personal account. What if I've been using that one business? Like BSP gave me the SME Visa card, and every single purchase, every time I want to buy something, whether it's for the business or for myself, if I'm buying food for the house, I use that one card. What are the dangers of that?
Great question. The number one mistake as well that I see amongst the SME people that I've dealt with, using your business account like it's your personal account. Like you said, doing shopping for everyone. Like when I first saw this, I was like, what's going on? It didn't, come in my mind that this is a problem because I didn't run my own business for starters. I came from employee mindset, just doing taxes. So I didn't do bookkeeping for most of my clients when I was in corporate. So, and then I had to understand the psychology that I'm dealing with. And then I came up with this course. Like there's this mindset of an employee mindset, the table market mindset, which is two of the dominant ones that I've dealt with in informal SME owners. And then there's the entrepreneurial mindset, what should be the entrepreneurial mindset, the business mindset. And that's a clear distinction of what is your business, who is your business, it's a person. And then you're separate from it. And a lot of people have trouble separating themselves. And so it shows in your money history. It shows in your bank statement when I get it. And it's important because personal expenses are not tax deductible.
Oh, okay.
That's the danger of it. So if you're spending money on your business, on yourself instead of your business, you can't deduct that for tax purposes unless you structured it as salary.
Okay.
Then that's a business expense. But the biggest mistake I see people just creating all their small business just to fund their personal life. And then both goes down the drain because you have not respected the business entity as it should be, its own person with its own mission, its own vision, its own goals. Keeping those two separate, you build the wealth in the business, na become an asset, na I'm funding you. You're cutting it off at its neck. As soon as little money comes, I cut off. I'm getting it, and then we're both just being broke continuously, year after year.
The
Making
toxic money mindset.
Toxic money mindset. And in the course, I use the analogy of a dog chasing its tail.
Yes.
So that's 99.9% of the SME people that I've met, we're just chasing our tails around and around and around, making money, but we're going nowhere. There's no direction. We have dreams, but it hasn't connected financially yet. Until you have this mindset of, my business it's itself and me by myself. How am I going to run this business so I can fund myself as well as keep the business afloat towards the biggest financial dreams for my business that I have in my life?
That was, for me personally, that was like a really huge, because earlier days of my business was like, you know what, I can afford all the things that Mr. Salah, I couldn't afford in my job, I can buy it. But then it started to I started to get into trouble, and I started to, like I said, like the dog, I was like, what's happening? Where's all the money going? Everyone, like I'm seeing like really nice amounts at the end of the year, but like my expenses are like in the red. Like what's happening? So I know that basically you're saying not only is bookkeeping and keeping like very good financial records beneficial in terms of taxes, to deduct your taxes, but you're also saying it's very beneficial to see your growth. Just, can you, can you just give me the benefits of categorizing the different? You said that a lot of people generalize where the revenue is coming from. Can you give some really good benefits of specifically, like for me as a graphic designer, motion designer, there's money coming in as a logo, from logo designs, from banner designs, or if I'm designing an ad what's the benefit of me categorizing
them.
all my revenue in that manner?
So a good accountant, I will ask you, what is your future goal? What are you trying to achieve in the long run? Then I will categorize your income and your expenses to reach that goal. So you'll come up logo design at all, or like what's the biggest dream? Then we categorize it according to that. So you tracking when you're looking at your numbers month by month. Another important thing, bookkeeping should be happening on a monthly basis. Until you get there, you haven't got there. Monthly, it has to be monthly. So you know that, yep, this la revenue operating one business activity, blow me, I'm going to go towards that big goal. Your accountant should be asking you that. You should be structuring your financial statements according to your dreams. Now, people who are accountants will come at me and say, oh, there's IAS laws, IFRS laws, and all the accounting stuff. Yep, they exist, but that's for when it's time to go there. But for you personally, you need to know what your vision for your business is, and your whole life, your whole financial plan, your whole financial statement is geared toward that big dream. So like me, when I started out, I'm just trying to do bookkeeping like a freelancer style. But then I found out that I should be doing online courses. So now I'm tracking my online course income and comparing it against all the things that I have to do to do people's books, which is a lot of hourly time. I have to put a lot of effort in, which I do for online courses, but online courses are more geared towards like I can create passive income through doing online courses and all, that kind of thing. So I'm tracking by those kind of categories on a monthly basis to make sure, oh yeah, I'm spending this and that against to make this kind of money. Where can I improve? What should I cut down to reach this financial freedom, financial independence? Those are the big names where we say things when it comes to money. But yeah, that answers your question.
Yeah, it does. It just the more specific you are about how you're spending, how the money is going out and how the money is coming in, the clearer
Clarity.
I am of whether I am achieving this big dream that I have in my mind, or I'm just in Delulu land, as the kids say nowadays, and I'm just like shooting an arrow in the dark.
You are chasing your tail.
Yeah.
The dog.
So it's just, so basically you just have to just make sure you are just very specific about what you are spending on and keeping track and
where you're making which clients
yeah, and that helps you to make decisions. Like you can drop things that are not,
you can drop
the things that are making low value
and
clients.
Go for what kind of clients, what's the psychographic, what's the value perception of your service. As creatives, we know we really want high value clients.
Yes.
But we gotta serve the low value perceiving clients at first to get through what you need to get through.
Especially since, because like a lot of us creatives, especially me, like I used to be a very general person. I did like multiple things, and now I'm trying to like niche down, because there are things that I enjoy doing and I enjoy working on that are profitable, and then there are things that are not like bringing in a lot of money and like I feel like a waste of my time. So that gives me a really good indication. It's not just the tax benefits of that, like the deductions, but it's just the general growth of
mapping out
my
financial
future
dream
and like really becoming that entrepreneur, that the term that everybody likes to throw around nowadays. We've had a really, really good discussion, and honestly, I wish I had this discussion with you when I started the business. I'm 5 years into Shawk23. I've registered under a business name, and these are a lot of the questions I wished I had someone to ask, and for them to give me really clear answers. So thank you for just making, like, this is really good. I really hope you guys are learning as much as you can, and definitely, like, I just know that there's so many stuff that we can really dig into to really be financially, like, have that financial clarity, so that not only are we able to handle taxes, but also make better financial decisions to really achieve those really nice, beautiful dreams of us. So, for me, I mean, like, moving on, what are some red flags? Like, how do I know? Like, maybe I'm a business owner, I've done it for a while, and I'm listening to this and I'm like, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing or I'm doing the wrong thing. Whether like I'm going to be in trouble for my taxes or if my finances are in trouble. Like I'm completely in the dark about where my financial. What are some red flags? What are some characteristics? What are the things that I'm doing wrong? If I'm, you know, I'm gonna. That's gonna. What are some of the habits or some of the things, some of even the mindsets that I might be having to be in trouble financially in the future?
Great question. The
Not
first
sorry,
one,
not only for taxes but also for my business.
the first one would be the mindset, the belief that you are your business. Break that belief. You are not your business, especially when it comes to money. You are not your business. Your business is its own person. You are your own person. Two separate things. How money comes out of your business to you, there are accounting and tax rules to keep you safe. Not to keep your money out of your pocket, it's to keep you safe. So if the taxman ever comes, they won't have to, break your pocket and your bank account and all those scary things, which there's a low risk, but as technology goes and the IRC improves their revenue collecting and data collection systems and
Mythology.
methodology. Oh, goodness me. Yeah, we're gonna face problems. But that being aside, you want to become more wise about these things because we're in this amazing age of entrepreneurship. Despite all the economic crisis and scare that we're in an amazing time to be making your own thing, doing your own thing, making your own money, being independent financially through entrepreneurship, through having your own small business. Amazing time. Never in the history of our world,
Even in
yeah, in
PNG.
PNG, we've never had this before. So we want to be smart now so we can pass this knowledge on to our children, pass this beliefs that you're not your business. You need a physical filing system, you need a digital filing system, you need to be collaborating with professionals in accounting and taxes, in those things so that they can help you reach your goals in business. So yeah, mindset, belief, you're not your business. Set up your systems. Now you need to be thinking multidimensional. I mentioned that in the course too. Your business is not just money in, money out. It's a multidimensional being. It's got sales, it's got marketing, your operations, it's got your HR, it's got your finances, multidimensional. Many of us, especially the creatives, say you just focus on your craft. And
That's what we want to do.
yeah, that's what you want to do. But as a business owner now, we gotta, those other legs have got to come out and run together. Otherwise, you're just limping on this one side, and then you're struggling with the other parts of a business operation. So getting your mindset from I'm not my business is this thing with a multidimensional moving parts that I somehow got to create and design to work together to get to those financial goals and dreams and outcomes that I set up this business for. That's another thing. A lot of SMEs, you may be making money just to survive, just for the sake of money, making to survive. That's okay. We all need to survive. As entrepreneurs, we're trying to solve a problem as well. So this vision to solve this problem in your business, in the society, in the country, in the world, has to take over this need to survive. So we need to get out of this mindset of saying, I'm just surviving to how can I thrive and give value in my community to everyone else. And then the money they say the money is going to come after you create the value. How can I make that happen through my business? So that's that mindset. And making money that's all. It's to create value
Solve
in
problem.
in the country, to make a change for the betterment of someone else outside of ourselves, who are going to pay us to make the problems go away. So that mentality in business, in entrepreneurship. Then I'll go tactical with the financial things. Do you have a physical filing system? Do you have a digital filing system? Do you have a software to track your money? Yeah, those three basically. And are you doing all this on a monthly basis? Get there, and then you'll have such a clear view of where to go in your business next to reach that goal. You already have the vision and the mission. It's those systems. Systems. I know you're in the system building phase, which I am as well.
So, next question. Oh no, Vanessa, I've watched this podcast and now I realize I'm in trouble. I haven't been keeping anything. And now I have to pay tax. I have to lodge my tax forms. And I've been doing this for 3 years now. I'm so busy and I don't know where to start. And everything was going great at the beginning. I saw a lot of money, but now things, I'm starting to struggle financially, but I don't know what the problem is. But now I've heard this podcast. I've noticed that I'm really in trouble. I haven't been keeping my books or my records because I've just been so busy. And like I have family too, and their kids begging me to do these things, and I've been doing all of these things. But I realize now I may be in trouble. What are some things? How can I start to clean up my own mess?
Buy an arch filing folder, like right now. Go buy that arch file folder with those plastic sleeves, or I just have one folder because I don't buy a lot of things like physically in the shops. One folder for the past 3 years. Just stop. Like there's a clip for 2021, 22, 23, 24. Okay, it's been anyway. Yeah. So so the physical file system, go buy that and start keeping your receipts. Every time you go to a store, have a business wallet, a purse, just for your business money. Do not mix your personal and your business wallet as well. Bank account in your physical life as well. Business wallet, personal wallet. Business wallet, by putting receipt below you, go to house, put in the folder below you. You can do this. It's not hard. Now, yes, we're all busy. I get busy too, and I fall behind on doing this, but I have a calendar system, a reminder system. I use Asana software that all my tasks to do whenever they are. Set up a system that you can go and that can remind you to do these things, and you can manage to. Yes, you're late 1 day, 2 day, 3 days, but there's deadlines. Come on, organize your time. Your time. Maybe your time is spending too much time doing unhelpful stuff in your lives, too much scrolling, too much complaining about things that you don't have control over. You have total control to go now and buy this arch folder and start filing your physical receipts. Then, if you don't have time to take photos of them, hire someone, your kids if you're married, your nephew if you're not married. Someone can do the photographing and filing in a chronological order, which was my whole course was all about, filing it chronologically. You can start there. Start there, like right now, today, next hour or so, and you started on something good. The tool set, with your mindset now that it's awareness, you get those tool sets and a system to consistently do this physical filing and digital filing. Start there. Sound simple enough?
I feel so much better. I think I have a plan, but I don't know where I kept my receipts. Are bank statements enough?
Bank statements can be. We can start there. We got to start somewhere. Bank statements, it will be. Please go and get internet banking. If you're a modern citizen of this nation, banking, internet banking. And I stress this in my course. Get internet banking. And while you're there, please open a business savings account, a second account to that transactional ones. So you can start parking money aside for taxes, investments, and savings, emergency savings. You need that in a savings account over there. And you need internet banking. So every month, you're downloading that bank statement and putting it on file, ready for that accountant that you're going to work together with to track your financial progress going forward.
Okay, so I feel much better because I have bank statements now. So when I go and I hire an accountant, or I sit with not Rawantokblumi is an accountant, and I want him to do my books. I give him the bank statements. What happens? What are their responsibilities? I want to be aware of. I don't want to just blindly give away my books because it's my money. Like,
yes.
I'm scared of my money. I really don't feel comfortable talking about my money, but through this discussion, I know that it's important for me to have a conversation, but with my bank statements or my records, and I want to start my bookkeeping process, or really just to clean up the mess that I've been making, what are some of the things that I need to discuss with my accountant, and some things that I need to look out for from my accountant?
Yep. So you don't get duped or fooled,
Yes.
or, duped. So a good accountant, like I mentioned before, we will ask you what your business is doing. I don't know every kind of business operation, so I need to sit with you. And as an accountant, like, I choose certain industries that I don't want to touch. Like, I won't go and deal with transport, construction. Like, that's not my area of expertise. But creatives, yep, I'll go and do that. Service providers, yep. Like, without too much products, physical products. I like service businesses. So I'm gonna sit with you and ask you what do you do? How do you do it? I can kind of see it in your bank statement. Like, with experienced eyes, they can see what you've been spending on. If there's a good description, if you've been swiping your Visa card at certain places. I had this client that had all these Visa card transactions. I had to go and Google them because I didn't know what they were. So I don't bother him that much.
They didn't provide the receipts as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Some of them no gut. Then the accountant's got to make the decision how to handle that. But yeah, we're gonna ask you what have you been doing and what are you dreaming of doing in the future, and then we start creating this chart of accounts. So this is the backbone. That's all those accounts that will show up in your profit and loss statement, your balance sheet. Create that at the back end of your accounting software. So all your income, all your expenses, your assets, your liabilities, your equity. Those five things. Now, finally, we're talking some technical accounting. So I'll break up all your business operations according to those five categories. And then start from the bank statements. I'm slipping them in from your physical filing system from your digital filing system. I'm breaking them up into those categories in the financial statements. That's basically accounting.
What if I operate on cash only basis? I really haven't taken bookkeeping into account. How do I fix that? Or what's the dangers of that?
You need to start getting really super tight with your workflows for that cash, how you handle your cash. So in the course, I gave a cash on hand digital tracker because it's very important when you're getting money, cash straight out of your bank account or customer pay me or cash, you're tracking that. You're tracking that. If you didn't do that before, well, you didn't do that before. There's going to be some consequences that your accountant is going to tell you about. And if it's me, I'm going to recommend you to do better, which is using a cash on hand system to track all the cash that you've been doing in a software. This is a cash on hand account, which is with your bank account. If you got more than one bank account, or bank account number will be in your cash on hand asset account, and then you'll have a cash or petty cash on hand account, which lists all those money coming in and out as cash transactions. It's important to keep track because all that cash transactions will tell you your financial story. If you're missing that story out, your numbers are gonna lie because you lied. The numbers don't lie unless you lie. And when you lie and your numbers lie, then your future, what happens to your future? You sabotage it.
You're in Delulu land.
Delulu.
Okay, I'm feeling so much better now. Like I think the important part is just learning to be very active in your bookkeeping and making sure that you are constantly tracking money. For someone like, our friend here who didn't keep any books and any receipts, are they liable to pay more taxes than someone who has been?
Your risk is greater because you haven't tracked your money. And yeah, it's a scary thing, but there's a risk in everything. And then unless you change it, then you keep staying stuck there. So, we have to deal with, oh man, I didn't do the right thing, but now you know what to do. Let's change and do the right thing at that basic level, having a physical filing system and moving into digitizing it on a monthly basis. Yeah, you can change. It's dealing with all that fear and consequences that can happen. Moving on to the better systems and processes and mindset actions.
And these are some of the things that you've been talking about in your course. So I think it's a great segue to go into what courses that you offer. Now that, for myself, I've taken the course, two of them, the introduction one and then now the dominating, which is great. I highly recommend that one. But can you tell us a bit about that course and if that's still available and who's eligible to? Because I know that it's not for everyone, but so there are qualifications. Can you kindly explain?
Yes. So the one that Chan took was only for certain business owners. Like if you had a internet banking, I let you in. Because if you didn't, then it'll be a bit not the best use of your time right now on the course. Like I wanted to do something else for people like that. Because when you have your internet banking, it's easy for you to download that statement and put it straight into the course. So it ticks off the box for both me and you. I didn't want people to feel too cheated about that. But I think the next round, I'll still take in people like that. So, you have something now set up to change and it's always going to be available to you. So this cohort one that Chan was in, I'm still going to leave that course open for you, because it's something that you can always go back to and remind yourself, oh yeah, this was this and that, in case, you dropped off or whatever. It's just, I'm going to change content or switch things around. You still have access to it. So it's for business owners who formally registered with the IPA and the IRC. So, because I talk about taxes.
So you have a business certificate
And an IRC, IRC one, tin certificate of some sort. And I explain the differences between the two, so you can identify your exact one, because there's different ones, up to 5 of them. 5 tin not tin, but 5 different types of tax return forms, and you have to pick which one is right for you and do the right one, because otherwise you're paying the wrong tax amount, and you don't want to pay more than you have to. So it's for formal business owners, modern ones. So you're willing to use a cloud drive to do these things. You're willing to use your computer, because if you're not, then it's not the best. Even your smartphone, yeah, that's so powerful these days. So yeah, for more modern one, or I had this thing where people were like, oh, I'm not too tech savvy, not tax, but tech savvy to do online courses. But they did it anyway on their phone. Like, I had this one lady. I was like, girl,
basically,
you are just...
if you watch TikToks, if you spend hours on YouTube...
On your phone, honey, you can do this course. You can learn online and change your life.
It's very easy.
Yes.
Is there anything else? No, that's all. You have to be a registered business for now.
Basically, yeah.
Registered business owner, have access to internet banking, and just willing to commit to the town.
Willing to learn. And action. Learning is actually taking action. That's the other thing. Learning is not just listening.
The beautiful thing about this course is it's very practical. So every course, there is an action step. And I basically have my system because of that. The thing that I loved about the course is that because I took the course, I found out I could download an Excel version of my bank statement. And all I have to do is just copy the cells to my actual bookkeeping, and then just make sure that the numbers are aligned. And that's made, like, I've actually taken the advice, like, first Saturday or first weekend of every month, because the bank statement's always ready as soon as the month clears. I just go copy paste, and then that's it. And then I can carry on with my life.
See how simple that is?
And that's just one of the best things about this course. Like, there's so much value that's offered. Like, there's really no excuse. There was one question I wanted to ask. What if the type of company or the type of business structure has changed? What if I'm a sole trader and I've entered into a partnership, or I've registered a business name and I want to transition into a company? How do I go about to change, not only at the IP level, but also at the IRC?
Yeah, great question. So at the IPA level, the business name, it's its own, what do you call it? Own legislation. So you're gonna have to cancel that business name and then register a company.
Okay.
So you register your company, reserve the name, register the company with the directors, so your business partners, whoever they are, as director or shareholder, register that, and then go get the TIN certificate at the IRC for that company. So 2 separate.
Do you have to cancel your old TIN as well, or is that automatically?
Yes, you have to cancel. There's a whole process for canceling stuff that people are not too aware of. And the IRC, anyway, let's not go too deep into it. But yes, there's legal processes in all these things.
Let's save that for another discussion. But that was something at the top of the mind. Like, what if we want to switch? And, what if we're...
Well, I must say, the IRC will check your tax records before they cancel your TIN out.
Okay. To see if you
been
still owe them.
Yes. Some filings, at least. It's a modern world. Everything's supposed to be...
It's good because I think, well, that's my thing. People have been texting me for business. Like, please send me an email. I need a paper trail of every single conversation that we have, because, like, I run a business. I'm not a person who does favors. Anyway, sorry. I think, like, this has been an enriching conversation, and I'm really sure we've gone over an hour, but I think we have to wind down, and I'm definitely going to ask you back on for another session. But it's just, I don't know. I hope that our audience, not just my audience, but your audience as well. You're like a really big person on the social medias as well.
Thanks to you, Chen, though.
That's how we help. We help each other. This is why this platform exists. But thank you for taking the time to just clear the air. And if you're a business owner out there, or you want to start business, why don't you just drop in some questions that, or some fears or things that are on your mind that you would love to ask Vanessa. And maybe the next episode that we have, we can do a Q&A of the questions that you've asked, so that we are more aware of the kind of things that are on your mind, and try to bring some clarity. Also, if you've taken her course and you also want to drop more questions as well, please drop them in the comments so we can plan another episode because definitely, like, Vanessa has agreed she's stuck with this podcast now too, so to help us, not just for us creatives, because we just want to do creative work and we just want to be in that zone, and we don't always have the time or the energy or the motivation, honestly, to like look through all our statements and to keep things that we really don't want to do, and we can focus on the creative stuff and things that we love to enjoy and are passionate about, and at least have all of that. So please feel free to comment and just ask as much questions as you, and we'll definitely do a Q&A in the next session as well. How can people find you if they want to work with you or if they want to find out more about you?
I'm on LinkedIn a lot because of what I do. I'm on LinkedIn. You connect with me there at V Geita, Vanessa Geita. On my social, I'm on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel that I'm building at V Geita, at VGEITA, TikTok, Facebook, X recently, Instagram. Was that all? Yeah, 5 of them. And Facebook. Oh, how did I forget Facebook?
And where is your course available?
My courses are exclusively on Relay Courses. So this is the first ever online course builder platform, marketplace, built by a PNG entrepreneur, Samson Korowali. Shout out to him. And so far, I'm the only one who's built courses there. But it's great. It's great. It's a great place for people who want to teach something and make money passively. Because once you build it, you can keep on making money. I mean, it's there. You don't have to physically go in person and teach people. I mean, that's one part of a product that you can create. And that's something I really want other Papua New Guineans to get into as well. And before we end, I just wanted to touch on what Chan shared about the course being so simple and structured. I actually had to invest in a coach, an online course creator coach who teaches online, to create this course, because you know my first one, and I can safely assume it's a big improvement from the first one when we broke in bush.
Yeah, definitely.
Broke in bush.
I remember we had that conversation.
Yes.
Like, I have some notes, but it was good. Like, your content is great, but I have notes on the presentation. But it was,
and getting professional help, which is getting professional help for bookkeeping. I had to get professional help from someone who was specialized in building a course, so that each module was nice and short and sweet and simple and actionable. A lot of people know things, but we don't know how to structure it to bring an outcome to your client. And that's where we fail. We're just talking theory, but a course needs to be something that someone can take and actually change their life from a point A to a point B. So what Chan and others who bought my course, around 40 something, you've now got the opportunity, if you've not already finished the course, but Chan had that transformation where he now has set up a finance filing system in his cloud drive.
For me, like, honestly, like, the main takeaway is, like, next year my books are gonna be like crisp, because it's just like it's the confidence that I feel. Like, I look like, you may be hesitant because of the price, but again, the return on investment on how much you're gonna save from all those fees, like, it's not something that you may immediately see gain from, but you build those habits, you're just going to see the money that you're going to be. Not only that, but she also teaches you how to have a look at the form and input where your income is and input your businesses, so you can have an estimate of how much tax that you can, and that's something that you can practice monthly, so you can save. Look at me really promoting. No, you guys got to get together.
No, that's a really important point, because like you, I've had the question. People ask me, how much tax am I going to pay? And then I'm like trying to explain IPA, IRC, it just gets too long. So good. And I was like, hey, there's this text form that I can put it in a course for someone to take, and then you'll figure out in the course which form it relates to. And like Chan said, you plug it. I show you where to plug in a number so you can get your maximum estimated tax payable.
So is it open? Is the course open and available to all the people, all business owners, specifically, like right now?
Right now it's closed because I need to rejig the content and make it fresh. and then I'll open it in September, hopefully.
Okay.
So by the time Chan has this video out, the application or via our affiliate partnership will be open for you to go and apply for the
Okay.
course through the link below in the
Yep.
description.
I'm gonna put link all of that in the description so that you can join the journey and just
Change your life.
It's really it's a game changer. It's a game changer, and it's for me personally. I thought this was like a really big hassle, but just from the very simple systems that you have introduced or taught, it makes the whole process easier. And you can just revisit every month, make a date, do all that, and then move on with your life. And then just as long as you're keeping the tracks. Anyway, I'm talking and rambling and going on, and we're going to start another session. Thank you so much, Vanessa, for coming on and always being a part of the show, and just be willing to answer as many questions and to share your knowledge and just so much value. I know a lot of my fellow creatives are also in the dark in some areas, so thank you so much for taking the time. And that's been another episode of the Shawk23 podcast. I really want to say thank you to everyone who's been following, who's liked and subscribed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe, please like the video so that this content can get and reach as many people out there as possible. Please follow us on our social media. And I also want to say thank you to my crew who's always been helping me set up, to Aesthetics PNG for filming today, and for Vasily Photography, Judah Wesley, for also helping me today. And I think that's about it. The podcast is available on YouTube to watch, and also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Castbox. And Google Podcast does not exist anymore. So anyway, you can listen to it on YouTube Music. I think that's all. Thank you so much for your time. And for all my fellow creatives, dream big, embrace your weird, and know all things are possible through those who believe. I'm Shawk23. Haparua.